Everyone, welcome back to Garden Reviews. We are once again out in the tool shed, and today we're going to do just kind of a quick, fun, friendly little test between 3 different brands of drills here. These were 3 that I could get my hands on. I'm borrowing this one I own, and I just wanted to do just, again, a non-scientific, just kind of a fun test, run them through a few different things, and then maybe just talk about pros and cons. I've used all 3 of these drills. This one the least, followed by, that'd probably be roughly same amount of time on these 2. But I kind of have experience with these 3. Some of the other brands and stuff are out there. They're phenomenal. I just don't have easy access to them at the moment. Couldn't borrow them, and I just don't have very much runtime on them. Besides maybe one of the DeWalt ones, which was really solid as well. So, but let's talk about these 3 today and just kind of do something a little bit fun. We'll drive some screws, some structural screws, and then drill out some holes and just kind of see what each one will do. So, start off here. This is the Makita. This is the GPH01. This would be the kind of top tier hammer drill. This is the first gen on their 40V max line. Phenomenal. It's a beefy tool. It's got some weight to it, but it is extremely powerful. I'm a big fan of this one. Of course, all 3 of these are like hammer drills or percussion drills, depending on where you're from. So you get kind of that full range of versatility there. Next up, this would be the Milwaukee, and this is the Gen 3. And I don't remember the model number offhand. Let me see if I can see it here. Oh, boy. 2804-20. So I have some experience with this. I actually had the Gen 3 hammer drill and impact driver. Super solid tools, very powerful, especially in the size. So you can see it's a little bit shorter than the Makita here, in both height as well as the length here. And it feels quite a bit lighter as well. I don't have exact measurements for you, but it's definitely lighter. It's incredibly powerful. Milwaukee did a phenomenal job with really packing in some tremendous power into the size. Last but not least, the Festool. This is the brand new TPC 18.4 from Festool. Again, hammer drill. What's neat and unique about this, a couple of different features. One, it's got a 4-speed gearbox in here. So both of these are running 2 speeds. Some of the DeWalts you can get into a 3-speed. This is a 4-speed. There's not too many other drills out on the market that do that. There are a couple, but this is definitely one of them. And another awesome feature is the fast fix. So you have removable different chucks here. So obviously you've got a Jacobs chuck. You can get a right angle, you can get an eccentric or offset. And then of course you can run Centrotech on this. So it's got a lot of versatility there. And out of these, as you can kind of see, this is stepping down here. This is the shortest. And I think most of that is probably due to the battery size. So this is a 4 amp hour battery that you would get when you purchase this as a kit. So actually, let's try that. Let's take the batteries off and we'll get a better idea of height. That won't sit completely flat, will it? Let's set it on the edge with the, that's got a clip on there. So let's just do this for fun. Take a look here. Because each of these batteries is what came with the kit. So I'm just going to kind of do a quick comparison here, apples to apples. And you can kind of see it still ended up working out about the same as before. So a little surprising. I kind of thought that would be of the same exact height. They're real close though. So you've got the Makita still being very tall tool next to Milwaukee. And then kind of the really short compact option here is the Festool. And I'm just comparing the batteries that come with it instead of trying to match like the exact amp hour. One, because again, this isn't a super scientific test, but 2, I figure if you're really into the battery platform and let's say you're running the Milwaukee and they offer like a high output battery and you're going to use that, sure, you may get a little bit more performance out of this drill, but you're already committed to that battery platform. I just wanted to show you guys what these will do with what is going to come in like a typical kit. I believe it's the 5 amp hour for the Milwaukee, if I remember correctly. The 2.5 amp hour on the 40 volt max is what is typical in the kit. And then the 4 amp hour, these new Airstreams is what's typical on the Festool here. So just going to show off, you know, each one. I'm not doing runtime tests or anything like that. So, and again, you may be able to eke out a little bit more performance on something like the Milwaukee with their high output batteries. So Just be aware of that. I'm just going to show those off as they come shipped. So got my favorite 4x6 piece of pressure treated here. We will clamp it down to the table, and let's start maybe with some structural screws. How about that? So I've got, this is pretty good. I've got some room here on this 4x6 where I haven't messed with it too much. Let's get a couple clamps to really lock this in place though. Okay, there's that one. There we go. So we'll be driving these. These are a 5-inch structural screw from U2 Fasteners. So they'll drive in approximately like that. Hopefully you guys can see that on the camera. So let's start with Makita. We'll just kind of go in order here. Let's throw a bit in here and we'll get this locked down. Let's have a little bit of fun here. Let's start with speed 2. We're going to go to the fastener setting. And on the Makita, cool feature here, you have a tremendous range of flexibility for your kind of electronic clutch options here, right here on the wheel at the bottom. Up to 21 different settings. So whether there's that much difference between like 21 and 20, it'd be hard to probably tell, but we're going to run this full 21, speed 2. Let's see how far this will drive this. Let's start maybe right here. You know what? I'm going to move these other drills off to the side so you guys can see everything nice and clear. Okay, no knots that I'm aware of. Looks pretty clean right here. Look at that. Perfect. Beautiful. Ran it right up, got it nice and snug. Maybe just started to countersink it, but not very much. And then that cut out very beautifully. Let's run one more, show that off. We'll run it right next to it. We're getting a little close to a knot here, but I think we're okay. That's phenomenal. That's very fast. Again, that is a 5-inch structural screw, and I think these are considered, yeah, it's a 5/16 by 5-inch from U2 Fasteners, and that actually countersunk it very nicely. Like, feels flush with the top. So beautiful performance. Again, that is that Makita XGT 40V. That's the GPH01. So top tier performance right there. I'm gonna expect the same out of this. Milwaukee, this is no slouch. Okay, so let's go, there's your 14 on the clutch side of things. That's the highest end. We're in speed 2. And again, I did charge all these batteries beforehand. These are all fully charged. I'll just show you guys real quick. So, fully charged batteries. Keep this fairly even. Again, not that it's super scientific, but this way we can say they all stood a decent chance, right? Have a little fun with this. Okay, Milwaukee Gen 3. Here we go. And you can hear that clutch right there at the end. So it didn't quite get it tight to the actual head there. It was real close though. Really close. And that clutched out. Okay, that stopped right there. All right, that's tapping out a little sooner than I expected. I might be running into a knot. Let's move that. Let's go up front here. Why not? There we go. Okay, we may have been hitting a knot there. So let's discount those first two. I think I was in knot territory. So we're gonna actually push it right up front here. And that looks pretty clean. So that one countersunk. Very nice. Real similar. Almost the same as the Makita. So very close there to being perfectly flush. Very close. Very close. Started to countersink. phenomenal performance. I would say the Makita seems that maybe a hair faster, but it's hard to tell. Very solid performance, and again, as long as I'm not driving it into a knot there, it seems like they hold up pretty good. So let's get the Festool up here. So this will be kind of the interesting part of this video, I think. So again, both of these are 2-speed hammer drill drivers. This is a 4-speed, so I'm going to have a lot more range there in terms of speed. And I believe when I get this thing up into like the 4th speed, the highest speed setting, it is not going to produce nowhere near the same amount of torque that these are in speed 2. So I don't expect this to perform at that level. We can drop it down into speed 3 and then speed 2 as well, and we'll play with it a little bit just to see how it does. But just to keep that in mind. So drill mode, speed 4, and then on the back here actually is where you get your clutch settings. So we're on 13. Yep, 13. So you got 13 different clutch settings there. Again, this should be an electronic torque, or a clutch, excuse me. Not electronic torque. There's not a thing yet. All right. And let's go. Did you hear that? It's like so polite. It's like such a European thing to do. You know, it's not obnoxious. It doesn't click. It doesn't do anything. It's like, doo-doot. That's enough there. So, I don't know why I needed to say that, but I felt it was necessary. Thank you, Festool, for being so polite and letting me know that that's as much as that's going to drive. So that basically went down. I tried to avoid the knots here. I went in between these two on the face. And it basically got this flush, but it didn't countersink it at all. You would probably want to like get this a little bit tighter to actually ensure that you're getting a good connection there. So let's go right here. Again, this is speed 4 on the Festool. So polite. So polite. All right. That's incredibly fast. Very fast. I don't know. It seems faster than Milwaukee, and it may be a hair faster than the Makita. That's just me winging it here. That just barely started to countersink, actually. So that seems like a really good solid connection there. Just for fun, okay, let's drop this into speed 3. And let's see what this will do in speed 3 at that point. Let's go back here. This looks pretty solid. I don't think we're going to run into any big knots or anything. So, or actually, let's go up here. Just keep it consistent, right? Up front where everyone can see. Okay, this is speed 3. Same clutch setting. Let's go. Okay. So I can definitely see starting to countersink a little bit more on this. It's not quite flush like the second Milwaukee, or maybe it's the first Milwaukee and the second Makita drive there, but it's very close. Let's just do speed 2. We got the last one here. This is fun. I enjoy this. All right, that looks like a good spot here. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. Speed 2, clutch setting 13. Okay. So you can see how much slower that is, but how much more torque that was producing. Like, that was starting to spin. I don't know how much more that would have driven before it actually cut out with the clutch setting. And this even has, I forgot to mention, this has like the anti-rotational feature. So if it gets going too much and it whips on me, it will cut the motor out, kind of protects the wrist. I believe the Makita does. I don't think the Milwaukee does. But if I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section. I'd appreciate that. So that definitely countersunk a good, I'm going to say 1/4 inch there. So it drove that really well. Really, really well. So super impressive. Let's pull these out. But you can see kind of the different like torque range and speed range there. Just from 2 to 3 even. It was pretty dramatic. So much slower, but a whole bunch more torque there. This was really solid. I mean, I would probably run it in speed 3 and be pretty happy with those results. I wouldn't want it countersinking too much. That's going to have a really strong connection. The head is fully seated, grabbing the wood nicely, so everything looks super solid there. jump back into Speed 4. Cool feature here I want to talk about real quick. I don't know how they got this gearbox to work this way, but you can basically move from like any gear to the next. You don't have to go in like numerical order, like in sequence, right? So you don't have to go from 1 to 2, then to 3, up to 4. You can go from 4 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 2. It does not matter one bit. It's going to shift and correctly get the right gear. So I don't know how they manage that. It's super cool, but really, really impressive. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty smooth too. So let's do Speed 4 here. It's a really cool feature. Okay, so you can hear that, right? Okay, so it attempts, can't do it, and so it's telling me, gives me that little beep there. Let's hit Speed 3. No problem there. No problem there. So, we'll talk about the speed, the actual speed range here in a minute. Let's get the rest of these pulled out. Really, all three of these are incredibly impressive. Obviously, I think the Festool is the newest one in the market. This is about a year and a half old or so. And then this is actually, what is this, 3 years old now? 3 or 4 years old. I honestly really expect to see Milwaukee come out with a new generation. Not because this thing is bad, but honestly just because it's been long enough that they can probably get an even more powerful motor in about the same size package, if that's what they want to do. Or maybe throw in some additional features. I would totally be game for some extra speeds there. What?
I want to.
What?
I want to.
Did Mom say you could come out? I'm recording a video. Please don't interrupt. Okay. I'll be in a minute. So I would fully expect Milwaukee to come out with a new generation, honestly, in the next year or so. Not because this thing is bad, but honestly because they probably can get, like, if they want to, a more powerful motor in the same size form factor, or maybe do some additional features on this thing to really kind of bring it up to match some of the new stuff. Maybe get some of that anti-rotational kickback thing going. I would be game to see some extra speeds out of them. That'd be really handy. And honestly, they're great tools, but again, this is definitely the oldest. It's been around for a while, so I expect to see them introduce something new here soon. And I know some of the earlier stuff, when these were first released, they were having some trigger issues. I'm sure by now, I'm sure honestly within a few months of figuring that out, they probably had all of the ones going forward corrected, but it's just something to be aware of. The Makita's still pretty new. I haven't heard any real issues with it. I actually did have an issue with mine, but Makita corrected it, no problem. It was a quick fix, and I'm not sure what happened, if it was a factory thing or if it was something on me, but I actually snapped something internally, and it wasn't, the actual hammer function wasn't working. So I sent it in for the warranty, and they got it. Took them about a week. They shipped it back out. It looked brand new. I don't know if I'm assuming they gave me the same tool, but it functions incredibly well. So I don't know if that was just a fluke. I'll definitely keep my eye on it, but it's such a nice platform. I really like it. So I'm not too worried about it right now. So you can kind of see it, that first hesitation there. Didn't want to break loose, but it did. So that is the three. Let's talk about the speeds on these. Let's see what's posted on the side here. We'll start with the Makita. Makita is saying from 0 to 2,600 is its kind of speed range there. Pretty incredible, pretty fast. It's a great tool. Let's see, Milwaukee. You've got 0 to 2,000. So a little bit of a difference there. What did I say? 2,600 on this? Yeah. So 600 RPM more between these two. And let's look at the Festool. Okay, this is where this really is going to kind of demonstrate to you guys the major difference here. The Festool in Speed 4 is 0 to 3,600. That's a full 1,000 RPM more than the Makita, which is incredible. So the most comparable between these two is Speed 3, and that's 0 to 2,350. So that's a massive, massive difference going from Speed 3 to Speed 4. And I think what that really, like the big advantage there would probably be, you know, different drilling applications, whether it's in steels or woods or whatever, anything like that. It's going to give you a lot of flexibility there. If you need something that needs that ultra high speed, you can kick it into gear 4, really get that speed going. And then of course, if you need the more torque or something like that, Speed 3 is where that's probably going to want to live. Speed 3 or 2, I would assume. So just to kind of walk through it, Speed 1 is basically 0 to 500. Excuse me. Speed 2 is 0 to 800. Speed 3 is a massive jump, 0 to 2,350. And then again, another massive jump to Speed 4, 0 to 3,600. So it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure why they did kind of the selection or the range there that they did, because 1 and 2 are really close. You're talking about a 300 RPM difference. I'm sure Festool had a reason for it. I just don't know it. So maybe if you guys have an idea, let me know in the comments section, because I would be interested in knowing. But that seems like a really narrow range there, and then you have this massive jump up from 2 to 3, and then a really significant one from 3 to 4 as well. So compare that to something like the Milwaukee here. Speed 1, you're looking at 0 to 550, and then from 0 to 2,000. So, you know, those are big step ups too, but it obviously makes a little bit more sense because you're only got 2 speeds to play with. And then this Makita is 0 to 650 and 0 to 2,600. So again, you know, those are massive ranges, but it makes a little bit more sense because you've only got the 2 speeds. So Speed 2 for a lot of your drilling applications, Speed 1 for that real heavy torque load there. So that was real cool. We're gonna move these off to the side though and keep moving on. I've got some spider bits here, and I figured why not show those off, because Spider's awesome. I actually really do enjoy all their equipment, or all their accessories, their products and stuff that I've used so far. I've had this little set for a while now. It's been super solid. So let's do, let's maybe do 1 1/8. That looks pretty good. I think I've used it a couple times, but should be plenty sharp. We're gonna throw this on its side. Actually, we're gonna redo this orientation altogether here. So I think we're gonna go sideways here. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. And we'll go here. I've got some stuff that I had done in previous videos, so we'll get that right about there. And I'll run the clamp. I'll do 2. See how that looks. Hopefully you guys can see okay on the camera here. Hopefully it's still very visible. Let's grab the Milwaukee. Let's give him a shot first here. Okay, this is an 1 1/8 spade bit from Spider. Okay, let's go into the drill mode. It's moving. Let's hit that Speed 2. Speed 2, drill mode. Let's go. Okay, so I had to hesitate a little bit there. You could see that board picking up. I don't think I've got enough room there. Let's see if I can adjust this. We'll do one more with the Milwaukee, give it a fair shake, because I did have to ease up on the amount of pressure I was providing because things started moving pretty quick. Actually, I could probably just clamp this. Let's be smart here. I think I can just clamp this from this side and we'll be fine. So just doing one right here. That should be nice and solid. Okay, I'm gonna have to vacuum in here. I'm making a mess. Let's go right beside it, right here. Again, 1 1/8 Milwaukee. Let's show this thing off here. pretty beefy. Bogged down a little bit at the end there, but there was no clean out. That was straight through. Again, this is a 4x6. We're going through the 4-inch side there, so that was nice. That was fast, and it made it through. No problem there. Let's get the Makita next. Let's get the Makita. All right. Okay. Drill mode, speed 2. Everything looks good. Okay, one shot right here. And let's go. Boy, that is screaming fast. That is fast. That's definitely faster than Milwaukee. These are all pretty similar in terms of wood here. I'm not hitting any knots with any of these. That was real fast. That thing's moving. And that could just be the difference in that 600 RPM. That's probably all it is, honestly. You're getting the additional RPMs out of this thing, and that helps that really get scooting along. So, let's grab the Festool here. Do you guys think this will handle it in speed 4? Okay, so drill mode on the back here, dropping it into speed 4. Now, if this will handle it, if it's got the torque for this, this should scream through it really fast. I don't think it's going to have quite the amount of torque it needs to get through with an inch and 1/8 spade bit, but let's give it a shot. Let's go right here. This looks good. And let's go. Yep. That's all she wrote. So, definitely not going to do it. I don't even think we need to do it a second. Yeah, it's not really worth trying here. Let's go into speed 3. That should be real comparable to the other two. We're going to move it over a little bit. Let's go right there. And let's go. Oh, look at that. Okay, did not like that. It made it a little bit farther in, but it's definitely cutting out with that speed 3. So let's go back to speed 2. And I got room. I'll go up a little bit. So speed 2, let's see how this likes that. Okay, so there you can see that. Man, I have made a mess in here. You can see that all 3 just beautifully clean holes. These spider bits, I swear, they're just phenomenal. They really are. They cut so nice, very clean. I don't know if you could tell, this thing did not bog down at all, but obviously it was dramatically slower. So it has more than enough power. It can get the job done, but if you were doing this for a race, you're definitely going to want to go with that Makita, because that speed 2, it's got incredible RPMs and torque load here. This thing is definitely a lot happier in that speed 2 range doing something like this. So got the job done. You can easily, I mean, no problem there. You can get this job done, but you're not going to win any races doing it. So let's drop for the last little hurrah here. Got this big old behemoth from Spider. This is a 1.1/8" auger bit. So same diameter, but obviously you got a lot of mass here behind this auger bit. Let's see how this handles. If I can get it open here. I can grab a knife. I didn't even think about it. See if we can open it up, and we'll throw these in and give it a shot. Well, instead of picking that apart, let me just get a knife. Expedite this a little bit. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're gonna give the Festool here. Look at that thing. That's a beef. That's a beefy bit right there. We are going to give the Festool a good run for its money. So this is a 1/2 inch. All of these are 1/2 inch chucks, so they will all handle this just barely. Because it's beefy. There we go. Okay, got it on. That's a monster. Look at that thing. Let's just go ahead and move back. We'll move back for all three of these. Back here a little bit more. Let me crank on this one more time here. It's kind of moving on me. There. Okay. We're gonna move this back. So again, 1.1/8" auger bit from Spider, brand new. Festool, speed 2. Let's see how it does. Woo. Nope. Wouldn't do it. So let me clear out some debris here, show you guys what it did. So it drove it very, very far. But nothing through the bottom here yet. So it's not quite through. Let's drop it into speed 1. Let's see what happens. Actually, let's back it up a hair. Speed 1. We are through. Boy, that took a little strength there. So Festool, it's got the torque. Definitely got to go into that speed 1 mode there. I'm expecting the same out of these two, but we'll see. Very clean hole though. Super nice. Again, these bits are awesome, but you definitely need all the torque you can get out of your drill. And this thing has it. It certainly has it. Honestly, it'd probably be smart to actually run, be like one of the side handles on here so that you're not getting that whip. Again, I'm not as concerned with this because it will cut out on me if it binds up too fast. I'm a little worried about this, but we're gonna go for it. I'll just try and use my manly muscles. And there we go. See, make sure we don't break any wrists, huh? See how the Makita, or I'm sorry, the Milwaukee handles this. Okay, we're still in the drill setting. Let's try speed 2. Let's give it a whirl. Let's go right next to it. And let's go. Ooh, did you hear that? Oh. What is that? I don't know what that is. That's weird. Maybe that's like, is it clutching out? I don't know. That's odd. Let's back it up. So, did really well in speed 2. Surprisingly well. Speed 1, this is not going to have any issues there. That was odd though. That was some weird action there going on. Go right back here. Right next to the Festool hole. Oops. We need to go the right direction. Boy. Okay, so you can hear that. It was definitely struggling there towards the end, but we did make it through. That requires a lot of torque to get that thing through there. That's a monster. All right. It is hot tamale, but boy, again, these are super clean holes. This thing does an incredibly good job, but it needs the torque. It needs a lot of torque. So, not something you would want to run on probably either of those drills all the time. I have a feeling that would wear them out real quick, but you know, you can do it. You can do it in a pinch. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to get out of the way. It's bothering me. Speed 2, Makita. This is the XGT. Let's give it a whirl. Wow. Impressive. Real similar to the Makita there. So pretty similar. I think the Milwaukee went a little bit deeper, but I did give it a couple more attempts. So not bad. Let's go speed 1. Actually, I think I'm going to pull this board this way. I'm kind of getting out here and it's feeling a little bit awkward here. Let's go like that. Pull that back a little bit and I'll get a new clamp, new hold here. Okay. Let's just do this here. There we go. Nice and sturdy. All right. What a mess. Speed 1, Makita. Let's give it a whirl. Let's go right here. This looks pretty good. Good smell. All right, so I think the Makita certainly did that the fastest. Bound up a little bit trying to back that out, but you know, getting these things cleaned out, it can be a little bit difficult. So that was definitely though the fastest, followed up by probably the Makita or Milwaukee, and then lastly the Festool there. All three of them though, plenty of power to get the job done if you got to do that. Again, I don't know if that's the correct tool for that bit, but you know, you can do it. It got it done, but that is a lot of work. So let's just see. Full batteries there, which I didn't expect it to lose too much. Yeah, full batteries there. Actually, this is showing, excuse me, one battery down. So I was pretty sure that was fully charged. So I think that's accurate. I will say this. So this is completely cool. Of course, it's had the longest time to sit there, but this just got done. There's no real warmth there on the Makita. The Milwaukee is noticeably hot though. Not hot, but it's definitely warm. It's much warmer than the Makita, even though it just got done running through that. So kind of interesting there. I didn't feel much with the Festool. I can feel, boy, just a little bit of residual, but I didn't notice anything when I first got done with it, so I should have paid more attention to that. Well, I think for now, though, we're going to wrap this up. You guys let me know what you guys think. Would you like to see some more tests like this, maybe with these three, and maybe doing some different things on this? I enjoy that kind of stuff. Again, non-scientific, let me rephrase that. Non-scientific, but it's a lot of fun to do, and it kind of gives you guys a little bit of a taste for what each one of these is capable for. The Festool, very precise. You got a lot of speed range there for different applications, plus some additional cool features with the different chucks. The Makita here, this thing just feels like an absolute beast. It's got some tremendous torque, a lot of speed behind it, as you guys could see. And then this, for being the oldest one in the bunch, is super impressive still. It's got tremendous torque, tremendous power, especially in that form factor. It's really incredible what Milwaukee did there. Honestly, kudos to all three of them. Each one kind of got a little bit of a different flavor and a different thing going for it, but each of them really solid in their own right. So I'll talk through just real quick right now a couple of things that I know I like and dislike about each. We'll start with the Makita. The Makita, the size factor is pretty awesome. I mean, anytime you can make something a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact, especially working, variety of different job sites, that's usually a big plus. Being able to get into tight spaces and stuff like that. I know one thing in my previous experience, I'm not usually a fan of like the different clutch settings here. I find as time goes on, this tends to get really loose, and then it's really easy to bump it out and drop it into hammer mode or something like that. It's just not my favorite. The speed selector up here has always been pretty stiff. It's not horrible, but it doesn't feel as smooth as some others. Otherwise, for the most part, it's pretty solid. It's got a single light there in the bottom, which will get the job done, but it's not super bright or anything. But yeah, I mean, it's a solid all-around package. You only get the one mounting option here for the side handle. It's either here or here. You can't adjust its range anywhere. It's just directly 90 degrees off. Makita, let's talk through some of the pros and cons. Again, you've got the different modes here. So you've got your hammer, drill, and like driving modes up here on the selector. It feels really nice and robust now, but as time moves on, we'll see how that actually fatigues in. And my worry is always that that's going to get super loose and sloppy, and it's going to start dropping, getting bumped into other settings when I don't want it to. The speed selector is firm but very smooth. I actually like it, and it's a little bit more low profile. I don't mind that because I know it's not going to get bumped. This one on the Milwaukee sticks up a lot, so I could see that easily getting hit by something and bumped out of the speed you want. Again, none of these are big deal breakers. It's just something that I notice. So very smooth, nice profile there. Again, kind of the bummer on both of these is you've only got the one position each side for the handle. Most of the time that's probably not an issue, but there are some times where it would be nice to get it into a different position for getting into weird, awkward places. So on this, you've got the lights up here on the front. It's pretty bright, and it does a decent job of illuminating the work there. And then you've got your clutch settings here on the bottom, which I like that they're kind of in a different position here. You have an unlock and a lock button, which is handy. So once you kind of get that set, let's say you get it set on 15, you hit that lock button, it's not going to get bumped. So even though it's kind of up front here and you may worry about that getting hit, it's not going to. But this does require an extra step, as where some of the other ones, you just click it and forget. So you got a little bit of an extra step there to lock that feature out. So not a big deal. And it's nice that it does lock in case it gets bumped. So otherwise, great tool and tremendous power. Really pretty incredible. And even this, even though it's larger than the Milwaukee, this is still a very, very manageable tool in terms of size and everything. I really like it. So great performer there. And lastly, the Festool. So this one's super interesting. Definitely a different form factor here. It's very short, so that can be super handy. It's pretty, let's see, it's pretty long, especially with this Jacobson chuck on here. Because of that interface, the Fast Fix, I think that adds additional length to any of these tools when they feature that kind of different system. So you do kind of sacrifice a little bit of the extra, or you have extra length here, so you sacrifice some of that compact form factor for the added versatility. So something to be aware of. The nice thing is you have nothing rotating here to bump this gear-wise or clutch-wise. You have your drill and hammer modes. It's just a nice simple switch here, left and right, and it's smooth, so you actually have to push in there. It's not going to get bumped on accident. Same with the speed selector here. It is smooth and in line with the body. It'd be pretty hard to bump that on accident. It does move pretty easily. So, I mean, I guess if you do hit it, you could bump it out, but it's firm enough. We'll see how time, if it gets too sloppy with time. But due to the low profile of it, I'm not super concerned about it. And then the clutch setting is here on the back. So it's really nice. I don't think that's ever going to get hit. It's not protruding really. It's tucked in behind here. You got your drill mode and then your clutch settings, and you have a couple of light modes there. It's super nice. Seems very intuitive. Just kind of tucked in back there. You get a single light down here at the bottom. It's pretty bright. Does a good job of illuminating. Let's see. Oh, your side handle here. The nice thing with this, you have a variety of different positions you can mount it in, kind of all the way around. I don't remember the degree increments, but you can look it up on the Festool website. But you get a lot of versatility there. And then last but not least, of course, the Fast Fix? Yeah, Fast Fix. Those attachments are super awesome. So being able to get a right angle or an offset attachment on this and then kind of get into a really awkward position makes this super, super appealing to me. And then if you are into Festool stuff and you like the Centratech accessories, that's an option on this, which is nice. So again, that's only if you're a Festool guy, but if you are, then this will definitely fit that bill. They also have an, let's see, they've got a depth stop attachment, which is pretty cool. So if you're driving some drywall screws or maybe some decking screws and you wanted a super consistent drive depth into like the decking or something like that, they do make an attachment. It goes on here and it basically prevents you from over driving. Super nice attachment. And then they have a few additional ones like a socket adapter and some different cool stuff like that. So you get a lot of different versatility and kind of options with the Festool. Yeah, you guys let me know what you think though. I really like all three of these. They're super great tools. I'm kind of a big fan of this Festool, honestly, and the Makita, just mostly due to ergonomics, and then the power and everything's great, of course. But these kind of fit me the best, and I've been really enjoying them. But I would love to hear what you guys think. What kind of tools are you guys using? What brand? Which one's been super solid for you? I know some of the DeWalt stuff is absolutely killer too, as well as probably everyone else's. Metabo's got some great stuff. Metabo HPT does too. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are using in the comment section. And if you have any ideas for maybe some future testing on these, let me know, because I would definitely be interested in doing that. I think next I would like to take out the impact drivers from all three of these, do a little bit of a fun test on those as well, and just kind of see what they'll do. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, let me know in the comments section. Hit that subscribe button if you're feeling generous. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.